How did your dad influence you? Did he, because they say fathers and the way they treat their daughters,
Yeah.
right? All these studies say that's extremely influential in terms of determining the girls who do ultimately develop an eating disorder or have real issues with their self-esteem and weight. You know, here your dad is this, you know, bodybuilder. Wasn't he Mr. Universe probably at some point, you know, known for having sort of this physical perfection. And I would think that that might create some tension between him and as he sees his girls and, for that matter, son develop.
Yeah. No, you know, I think that a lot of people expect us to kind of have a lot of pressure to look really good and have a really fit body, because my dad was a bodybuilder, but and known for his figure, but it really didn't have any impact on me. And I don't know if that's just because I'm a girl and I look at pictures of his body and don't aspire to look like that, just because they're crazy muscular and it's not what I want to look like. But you know, that could happen for my brothers, I don't know. But my dad was never, you know, never wanted us to look or be exactly like him, and neither did my mom. They let us really be our own people and who we really wanted to be. Didn't he once say to you, though, Katherine, like, you sure you want that second helping? I mean, it's so interesting because parents have to be so careful what they say and the kind of the messages and even sort of the body language and visual cues they give their kids, especially daughters, I think, when it comes to this whole area. Yeah, and I think especially mothers. I mean, I think fathers have a huge influence on their daughters and their children in general, but I think that young girls often look up to their mom and watch their mom and see how their mothers behave, whether that's to, you know, a cashier behind the counter at a grocery store, or how they treat themselves in front of a mirror. And whether we're consciously taking that in or not, we see how our mothers are treating themselves and how they are treating their bodies, and that kind of reflects how we are going to treat our bodies. And so if you have a mother who's constantly nitpicking herself and telling her how disgusting she is and how... Or I look terrible in this dress. I look awful, God, I'm getting so old, blah, 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 you know, all of that stuff, it makes us look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, oh, maybe I do look terrible in this, maybe, you know, and be really critical about ourselves. Whereas or if they talk about dieting incessantly, so much, and exercise, crazy amount of exercise, dieting, crazy things like that. You have a lot of moms who do that and try to kind of rub that off on their kids, and it's really, you know, not a good thing to do. I think it's important to, I think, emphasize health, but if you're always like, I've got to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to go work out extra because I ate a cookie today, that kind of, I think, is really stressful for the child. But I think we should separate that from, it's okay to kind of say, oh, let's eat this is a really healthy dish, and because it gives you all the vitamins or fiber or whatever you need. I mean, that's okay, don't you think? Oh no, that you know, that my mom does that all the time. Okay, good. She's always talking about, you know, like, this is healthy and this is, you know, that's great, whatever. And I think that it's important to obviously educate your kid about, or your daughter, about what's healthy and what's not, and showing her what are good food choices versus in an affirming way, not in a self-punishing way. And not in a way where you're criticizing her for making bad food choices.